Alrighty, second video. I have to work today at my second job. I'm keeping my second job for as long as I can stand it, you know. I just want to work as much as I can and save. That is my goal right now. And make it through whatever next illusion, next tactic, next exploitation, narration, whatever it is they got up their sleeve. You know, I put a video up last night, just like, I'm ready to have some adult conversations with anyone. People are like, when, what, anything, anytime, you know. It came to me yesterday when I was sitting outside listening to Ye's new album. Golly, it's such a good album. Oh my gosh. Golly, there's so many songs that are my favorite. I can tell you which one is my favorite now. But it came to me in reference to my previous boss. That has a big portion of this. Big old portion. Now, is he elite? Yeah, he's elite. Does he have connection? Yeah, he has connection. Does he live a false facade? Most definitely. And you can't trust nothing. You just can't, unfortunately. Yeah, people say one thing, they portray one thing, and then they see something in you, and then they want to use you, and they want to exploit you, and they want to reap the fruits of your labor without treating you fairly, without treating you honorably, and not even to mention if there's issues, if there are hiccups, if there's this, if there's that. Communicate that. Start there. And then if you're not even going to communicate it while there are issues, whatever those may be, how are you not at fault with that, first of all? And secondly, let's talk about the toxicity, the gaslighting, the manipulative tendencies, the inappropriate tendencies, the inappropriate conversations, the inappropriate gestures, the inappropriate operations of running a business. These are all things that are all very prevalent in this reality right now. And it's not just that company, it's across the board. And that's where you got to grow thick skin. You got to grow thick skin for yourself to where you don't get used and abused. And you don't become somebody's scapegoat. And you don't become somebody's pawn or patsy or whatever the case may be. It's just ridiculous. But it came to me. I was like, you know, at this point in the venture, I don't even need an apology. I don't even yearn for apology. I really don't. I forgive and I pray for them. I pray that they don't go through anything. Anybody unraveled in this go through anything that my son and I have gone through. I don't want that for their family, and I don't want that for their kids, and I don't want that for their generations to come. I want it to end here. But what I wouldn't mind is an apology to come through to my kid. I wouldn't mind that. He deserves that. 100%. You know, whether that'll come or not. Somehow, some way, my kid is unraveled in this. And there's been many ways that my kid has been used against me. And they know it, and so do I. And I'll look every single one of them in their eyes. And I won't blink, and I won't flinch. Because they know it's true. And they know I know. And that's what's got them fluffered. But that said, you can be successful in anything when your intentions serve in love. You know, so often enough, I think we get misconstrued with a competing and comparison and jealousy and envy of, say, someone that is more gifted in certain areas, has the ability to excel in certain areas, whether this is personal or business related. But see, the thing is what I think people misunderstand is that anybody Anybody can be successful in anything if you move and operate in love for what you do, in love for yourself, in love for your performance, in love for what you're pouring out into this world. You see, so often enough, we go into something with the wrong intentions, and that's why you don't reap the benefits of it. You don't reap the fruits of your labor because you're not going into it with pure intentions. You're going into it with impure intentions. And see, a lot of the times that's where we find these hiccups in frequency, these hiccups in the business world, these hiccups in your personal life, is because you're not leading with your heart space. You're leading with your ego. You're leading with self-serving wants and needs. And so I think that if we started moving and operating in the right intentions in what you do, you'll start reaping the proper benefits of what you're sowing, you know. Let's see here. If the Air Force One is heaven, how are you higher than me? Because I believe in heaven, and heaven is far higher than Air Force One. That came to me yesterday. Okay, so there was a time where President Trump, I'll give him the president. He is a president. I know he's a president. I respect him for being the president, but he's not acting like a president right now. So call it what you may. I'm entitled to believe what I want, and say what I feel. And I know a lot of people feel that way too, but aren't capable of saying it, whether because they're in bondage, they're in chains, they're blackmailed, they're coerced, they're tied up. You know, there's all kinds of different ways that you can spin it, but it came to me. And if I was a reporter and I was sitting in that room and it came my turn to ask a question, that would be my question. I would ask him. President Trump, there was a time when you said in an interview that you didn't think you were going to heaven. You didn't think you were going to heaven, and that you compared Air Force One to heaven. And so I say to you, because I believe in heaven, and because I believe in God, and I believe Christ is King, and I recognize what Jesus Christ did on the cross, I realize that heaven is far higher than Air Force One and can fly higher than Air Force One. So with that said, how is it that I cannot fly higher than you, being as you believe that you've already flown as high as you can in Air Force One? I know, that would be an interesting question to be asked, right? Because I would want to put it in his mind like you're capping yourself off, not believing in heaven, and that heaven is real, and that you deserve a place in heaven because you've already adopted it in your mind that you're not going there. And so because you've adopted it in your mind that you're not going to heaven, and you compare Air Force One to heaven, you're capping yourself off on how high you can fly. You know, not physically, but figuratively, right? And so when you kind of put this in your mind frame of recognizing that this is all temporary, but it is up to you what kind of life you live here on earth. It is up to you if you bring heaven here on earth. It is up to you if you realize that you have the power to do anything, to stand up for anything. If you choose to do it with love, if you choose to do it with honorability, if you choose to do it with ethics, if you choose to do it with morals, if you choose to take accountability in the areas that you need to take accountability and just own it. Just own it. Half the world already knows the truth. And at this point, half the world would they would respect you more if you just say the truth out loud. Same thing with Erica. Nobody hates you. They just want you to tell the truth. Say the truth out loud. Say the truth out loud, and you will gain respect. You will gain the ability to change the course of your actions. You will gain the ability to